Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT Podcast, episode 138. Wow. We're going to try to not talk too much about too many news and keep it a short podcast because that always works.
Every time we say this,
You
we
know
blatantly lie.
That's
But
the name of the game. Welcome to the Blatantly Lying Podcast, episode 138.
I'm just saying, fuck them. It's the kids who are wrong.
Everyone is wrong except me.
True statement.
Oh, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I record a 3-hour podcast talking about what I watched this week?
Obviously, me is Timpedia, but who are the other three me's here, you might ask? Well, starting on my right.
This is Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
This is just Tyler.
And across.
The AIDS man.
You know, we talked about now that everyone's living in approximately the same area, especially when I move next year, we're going to be pretty reasonably close together. We could pretty easily go for finally getting the in-person.
For yourself.
All right, Todd, we don't have to do it regularly, but I want to record at least a couple live episodes.
I want to do at least one.
In-person dynamic will
That's
definitely
fine.
change.
I'm cool with that. I'm always cool with that. I'm just saying, y'all think I'm hella close. I am not.
You're what, 20 minutes away?
You're not that far.
Yeah.
Wait, I know. Fuck you, Tyler. You ain't far.
Fuck me.
You ain't far.
What do you mean? We were. I was literally
Guys,
like a 10-minute drive for you.
Don't dox each other during this conversation.
Double the distance now.
Speaking of dox, you know who you should dox?
Whatever,
Dox
man.
Blizzard,
Fuck
because
y'all.
Blizzard delayed games that people aren't even hyped for anymore.
All right,
to
Blizzard
I'm
2020.
not-
sucks anyway. Who
Weren't
cares?
we already doing that?
Yeah.
So look, we were
doing that.
already mad at Blizzard for multiple things, including delaying Overwatch 2, but they've done it again. The Mad Lads have gotten away with delaying Overwatch 2 once again. To literally no one's surprise, absolutely no development work is happening at Blizzard right now. So Overwatch 2 is getting bumped out to 2023, and I think Diablo 4 is also getting bumped out as well.
That is fucking nuts that they're not even. It's not even. We have 2 months left of this year. Obviously, that means they're not shooting for first half of next year. But the fact that they already know no time in 2022 will they launch either game is fucking crazy.
This also came off the heels of them canceling BlizzCon, obviously for PR reasons, but I think also because they just don't have anything to show off at this year's BlizzCon.
You look at the same footage of Overwatch 2, guys. It's crazy, right?
I mean, like, to think they had a cinematic and everything done, like, a year ago, it just feels so
Art
weird.
department carrying once again.
For real. Like,
Just like
I mean,
Riot.
yeah.
I feel
That
like at
is
this point,
how it works.
Blizzard could just make movies in the meantime. Like, if their art department's not doing this, it's like, hey, just like, make the next Overwatch cutscene an hour and a half.
Yo, can we
And
get
we'll put it in theaters.
Warcraft 2 though? I'd watch Warcraft 2.
No. Wait,
Fuck
the
you.
movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
did
the
you
movie.
really like the first movie?
Oh, me?
No, Aiden, because he seems anxious for a Warcraft 2.
Objectively, as a movie, it is like a 6 out of 10. As a
As a
fucking
Warcraft movie.
nerd who loves Warcraft, I was like 8.5 for me.
There we go. Like, everyone I know who plays WoW was like, yes, this was acceptable.
Yeah. Was it perfect? No. But it was good enough.
Would it ever be perfect? Absolutely not.
True.
At least it wasn't that.
something transferring mediums, not an easy thing.
Yeah, for real. Is that all I want to say about that? Can I transition to another thing that's not transitioning medium, but is still...
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Blizzard.
Yeah.
Don't play their games. Their game sucks. Overwatch 2 sucks, confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed.
Damn. All right, so let me get to my checklist. So we've already shit on Blizzard for the week. All right, time to shit on Nintendo for a little bit.
Yay.
So, I'm not actually mad about this. This is just kind of indicative of the quality that goes into Pokemon games lately. But with, oh my god, Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl, I think those are the names for them. The Diamond and Pearl remakes, they come out in, as of the recording of this episode, I think 10 days. And a copy of it has already leaked online. And a couple of people are finding some very odd decisions were made when developing this game. First and foremost, it's entirely in Unity, which means hacking shit into the game is beyond easy. So someone's like, yeah, I just replaced all the starters with Darkrai in the leaked demo. So that's a thing already.
That's so incredible.
Wait, Diamond and Pearl, I have to change gears. Made in Unity?
The remake is made in Unity.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'm not.
Are you? Wait, no, hold on. I gotta actually look this up.
Anyway, but the big
Do you
kicker
not
here
trust
is
Friedman?
they found that in
No,
in
man, this dude fact checks me all the time. You can go fuck yourself.
That's fine. I'm just curious.
You know, Children Freeman.
Oh my god.
all right,
Fuck
hold
is
on,
this
let's do a
shit?
real fact check.
I can't believe this fucking bullshit.
NintendoLife.com
What
is reporting that they're in Unity. Yes, I'm
I
not
hate
making this shit
this.
up. Fucking
So
confirmed.
What is
why
Anyway,
are you
this?
so
No,
angry?
what is? Why? There are. I want to
Pokemon
scream.
is a $92 billion franchise. and
That's
they're
what
using
I am
Unity.
talking about.
anyway, the part that
Anyway,
here-
no. I want to talk about how blaringly bullshit this is. Nintendo, you are a multi-$10 company,
hold on,
and you're
hold
gonna
on.
give it what?
Hold on,
What?
hold on.
What?
Nintendo and Game Freak did not work on this game. They licensed it to a third-party studio to do the remake.
Oh, that's ass.
Who cares?
That's ass. What kind of lazy shit is this?
Well, they don't
What is
decide the
this?
development process. They're like, hey, this studio has done other mobile shit for us. Let's
If
give them
I
a chance.
paid a third-party fucking company to do my multi-dollar game, and they come out, if I'm the producer, right, from that company, I go, hey guys, how you doing? So like, pitch this to me, like, what you know, you got an in-house thing. We like, obviously we can't do it in Unreal because you know that just wouldn't make sense. Or we're doing it in Unity. I'd be like, Unity, huh? Oh, all right. Well,
You're fired.
you're done. I'm taking this back because clearly you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Now, to be fair, they still let Game Freak develop Pokemon games, so I mean, it makes
hold on.
sense.
I don't agree with their decisions, but I can explain to you why they did it. Every other remake in Pokemon has not warranted its own engine. They've always been like, oh, we're in 4th gen, we'll just remake Gold and Silver on the engine we did for Diamond and Pearl. And then low key, that was the same engine up until X and Y. So
Yeah, we know.
when they do remakes, they
understand
just
that.
use the existing engine. So when Diamond and Pearl comes out and Game Freak's like, yeah, don't use the Sword and Shield engine, and they're like, okay, well, you need to either come up with your own engine for this remake or just find one. You bet your ass the third party studio said we'll just find one.
So they're just gonna go with Unity, huh?
Well, they went with it.
Bro, this is unless they are Devolver Digital and they can make some magic happen, like with Hotline Miami, I don't believe for a second it's gonna look good.
I mean,
That being said,
it doesn't look any worse than 3DS games. I'll put it that way.
It's a high
Anyway.
bar right there.
The part that as a developer
anyway, I have a
absolutely kills
problem
me.
with this.
Why? What's your
I have a
problem with them
huge
using
problem with
Unity?
this. Because, like, I mean, all right, you know what? I'll admit, I haven't touched it in a couple of years, and it's not a bad piece of software, but it's like there's just so many things with lighting in Unity that you just can't do, and it's like I don't have a lot of faith in that you can come out with like a true AAA quality product, like with Unity, unless like you put like a lot of work into it. I just don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah, the Diamond and
Based
Pearl
on my
remake was
own
never going to be AAA
experience.
quality. This has always looked like they were phoning it in the first place.
And I feel like that's not right. I feel like all these other products that people come out with, like these Pokemon products, they're just not listening to the consumer, and they're just like, we're throwing this out there.
It's because
Give
they're listening to
money.
the consumer, because the consumer says, I will buy literally anything you put out there.
So, not to tack this on too much, but there is actually hot off the presses Unity-related news to kind of wrap into this. Apparently,
All
Unity bought Weta Digital, which is Peter Jackson's like CGI company. They bought the VFX tech division for $1.625 billion.
What the hell?
So
I didn't know Unity was that serious.
Half the comments on Reddit are, holy shit, when did Unity get to the point where they can spend $1.5 billion? Sorry, that's hilarious timing to see that
that is pretty wild.
that this news comes out while Tyler's vehemently attacking how shitty Unity is.
I am sorry. So I'm attacking Unity.
Then why the fuck is Unity like the way it is then? If they're just dropping $2 billion.
So here's the thing. I'm not trying. I am just doubting Unity. Like Unity isn't like, like it's free for a reason. They have paid stuff, but like I like they're really good with like let's say kid games, like stuff that like is slightly on the like maybe brighter side in some aspects, or like things that are very simple,
I mean,
right?
I guess that fits Pokemon though, right?
You guys seen what the Diamond Pearl remake looks like?
Nope.
It's
I've seen
not.
some
It's not a
screenshots.
complicated looking game.
Like ass? Does it
Hold
look
on.
like ass?
I want to see what this looks like.
Yeah, like I don't know, like and plus like I haven't had anything that used anything that hasn't been free, but like I don't know, just like you don't get a lot of like of depth when it comes to like models and everything. Like I said, the lighting just isn't there comparatively to like Unreal or something like that. But like
Yeah, that's like what Unreal is
obviously,
known for. Is just like lighting and physics.
Lighting doesn't
Yeah.
look
And having 100
terrible.
gigabyte
Oh yeah, just base
demos,
files. Yeah,
5-minute demos.
Wait, it was 100 gigs?
The demo they showed off for Unreal Engine 5, yeah, that was a
Unreal
100
Engine. I thought you were talking
gigabyte.
about Unity.
That was a 100
I
gigabyte.
thought you were talking about the
file.
imagine if your
Pokemon
cell
thing.
phone games was like 100 gigs.
So Friedman, this is coming just to Switch, right?
Yes,
And you're saying
Only
someone
to Switch.
still instantaneously ripped it out, put it on the PC, or modded their Switch
Also,
and instantly changed all the starters.
Yes, they said it's very easy to change out models, text, and just rework a lot of what's going on in the game. And it wasn't like a secret. Like Unity is the first logo that pops up when you turn on the game. Like it's Nintendo, then Unity. But the thing that kills me is like you go back to the way Diamond and Pearl were. Like these actual cartridges had completely different ROMs between Diamond and Pearl. It's the same ROM on both games, and there's a single variable that determines whether it loads Diamond or loads Pearl when it starts. Like if you change that variable, congratulations, your copy of Diamond now runs Pearl.
Oh
Like they didn't even
my
split the fucking
god!
versions. It's one version. Anyway, that's where we're at. Just peak.
How is this the world we live in? Like,
Look, in terms of
legitimately,
code reuse, I get it. Like if there's the only differences are on certain maps, you just load a different version of the
you
map
don't
when
load
you're
the
there.
ROM onto the fucking
No, I'm
Switch.
saying from a developer perspective, you want two different versions, and 99% of the assets between those versions are the same, and all the code's the same. Like, yes, you could in theory make two versions of the project. The only difference is just that variable. But the fact they included both in the same one is just actually hilarious.
Yeah, that.
Wow.
Well, then that begs the question. Like, I mean, honestly, this should have just been advertised that way. Then.
Yeah, it's people are memeing up the fact that it's still $120 for both copies when you're just buying the same thing twice effectively. Either way,
For fuck's
as
sake.
always, Pokemon's a shit show, and I'm just crying in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not- I tossed my vehicle into the fucking water. I ain't crying no more.
All right, let's move on. I still want to watch this, but
Yeah, I said
Haven't
fuck you,
either.
Reggie.
Did anybody watch? Aiden, please tell me you watched this.
Of course I watched this.
See, Okay, so for context, everybody, we got Elden Ring gameplay finally. 15, 20, 30, I don't remember how long.
15 minutes.
Okay, all the videos are like 20 different lengths, so from fucking YouTubers uploading slightly tweaked versions of them talking over it. I didn't watch this because, frankly, this is a game I will buy because this seems closer to Dark Souls than Sekiro was, so I'll buy it. So why watch it?
Fair.
But that's
Fair.
been a well-documented trailer policy of mine on here for a while now, so...
I don't know. When it comes
Aiden,
to
what did you
gameplay-
think of it?
The gameplay has to look exciting.
Okay.
Like I'll watch gameplay trailers.
This game is. They literally took Dark Souls and Bloodborne and maybe a little bit of Sekiro and literally they shoved it all in a box.
Sounds good.
It's all in
I'm
here.
down. LP
So-
day one.
This, to me, very much gives me like there is a particular shot in this trailer and or in this gameplay demo that I looked at it and I was like, this is Dark Souls Breath of the Wild.
I mean, that was a lot. That comparison happened a lot before.
But like seeing this gameplay now though has reinforced it for me to the nth degree.
Gotcha.
like, and it just oozes that Dark Souls world building too. Like the characters that they show, the NPCs, that certain NPCs that you run into are just very Souls like. It has everything that I would want this game to have from like from a world building or from a I can't really think of a word for it.
Cool.
It gives that vibe. It has the Dark Souls vibe, which is what I want.
Yes, I'm down.
But there are some problems that a lot of people have been pointing out, in that there are a ton of reused assets here. Not necessarily like terrain or anything like that, but like certain weapon move sets seem to be similar. The audio, Dark Souls 1 climbing a ladder, that's the audio, that's what it sounds like climbing a ladder in Elden Ring. Like the backstab sounds the same. The, you know, when an enemy dies and it does that little soul whooshy thing, that's the same. So there has been a lot of criticism levied at this regarding how much this will be like all of the old games, and whether or not they've actually are doing anything worthwhile with this game that is noteworthy.
While I get
I
that,
mean, George R. R. Martin's writing.
While I get
I hope we don't get George R. R. Martin writing for this. I much prefer Hidetaka Miyazaki writing.
While I understand that concern, I am so down with those old games that I just don't care.
Same. And that's really what I am. That's kind of the camp that I'm in as well.
Oh no,
and
I
like,
have to play Dark Souls again. No.
well, and the other thing is, like, I know that I want to believe that From Software is putting the work in, right? So like, if there's some reused animations or something like that, like, I'm hoping that time and energy is going into creating interesting gameplay systems, and like a fun world to exist inside of. So like, and it, from what I can tell, it certainly seems that way. Like, not in it, every what you would assume to be enemy appears to be hostile, so you're not going to be running across a field and it's just like, oh well, that's the player character, we're going to go kill the player character. It doesn't seem like it works that way, but granted, again, grain of salt, this is only a 15-minute gameplay demo. It who knows. They seem to have added, like, your skill sets seem to be much more varied. Like, there was a lot more like when you play Dark Souls, right? Like, okay, I'm going a dex build, or I'm going a dex intelligence build, and that would restrict a lot of the ways that you'd be able to interact with the game, right? Just by virtue of not having the stats to do certain things. Where the gameplay that they show off in this is, you see a lot of spell casting, a lot of melee, there's stealth stuff in there. Like, it is very varied gameplay. Now, whether or not that is just for the purposes of the demo and is just, you know, they're just trying to show off as much as possible, or if your character will be able to dabble into a lot more of the systems than you previously could, who knows. I'm super hyped to, like, be a summoner. So yeah, I'm very interested in what systems that they implement in the game. Like, because the previous games have had a lot of really cool stuff. Like, Dark Souls 3 weapon arts were awesome, but it was just not all the way there, you know? Like, and Sekiro had a very similar thing as well, where you had, like, the special moves that you could slot into your inventory, but you would only be able to pick one. And I'm hoping they expand a lot more on that so you can really just do some wild builds in this game. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I think it is. I go take a look if you are at all interested in this game. I'm excited for it. I am more excited for it now having watched this gameplay. I'll say that.
Nice. Makes sense. I will trust your judgment because I would like to keep it separate for as long as possible.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'm gonna what the release date's what, early next year?
February. I want to say February.
Perfect. I'll be
Damn,
in the
it's
house.
creeping
I'll
up.
have my office. This will be one of the first LPs of next year.
Hell yeah! Are
Which,
we
you know-
tag
Do
teaming
you
Elden
wanna?
Ring?
Let's do it.
Fuck yeah, dude!
So I guess this is as good a time as any since we're talking about this now. Whoops. So for those listening to the podcast, there's going to be a video coming later this year, but assuming everything goes well, I will be moved out basically on the new year, and by the end of January should be settled into a new house, which means recordings will start again. Yay.
Yay!
There's going to be a video for that later. Also, so I will later in the year. It's like a Christmas thing, but and when
You-
know I'm getting the house.
Do you own Bloodborne, Tim?
Hell yeah. Well, I own Bloodborne. I do not have the PlayStation or the copy of Bloodborne right now because it was my sister-in-law's PlayStation.
I mean, I told
Wow.
you could borrow the PS.
Tyler, I already told you I don't need to play Bloodborne again.
I was
Well,
just
you
saying,
need to
you
play
know,
God
because
of War.
Bloodborne is the only game that me and you haven't co-opted all the way through from Software.
Damn, did
so
we actually finish the other ones completely?
we beat one. We killed Gwyn. We
really?
finished
Wow.
two because we made it. We did all the way up to
You guys actually got
the.
through all of them.
I think so. Did we finish two?
We've
Yeah,
played
the
a
Ivory
fuck
King
ton.
is the
See,
second one.
Did we finish 2? I thought you stopped playing 2, and I was always like, Aiden, when are we playing 2? When are we playing 2? And you're like, I just.
No, we finished it. We killed the last boss.
Did we really?
Yeah,
Huh.
we did all three. We did all three of the
my
DLCs
God,
and everything.
Ivory King was such a bitch. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, we had to redo Ivory
The
King
only
a bunch of times.
the only thing that we didn't do was Vendrick, because Vendrick isn't even a real boss.
You can't even co-op Vendrick.
Well, yeah, true. Also, but
yes, I remember
yeah.
fighting down in Shulva together. Yes. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
we did that, and we played through all of Dark Souls 3 together.
That's wow. What good Dark Souls buddies. No, we will definitely play Elden Ring. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And if the oft rumored Bloodborne PC thing comes out, I would mega finally beat Bloodborne for real and do a season 2 of that LP if Bloodborne came to PC.
Dude.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I've told that story, right? I think you've at least heard that, right, Aiden? I literally got to the Child of Kos, and then was like, fuck this boss fight. I'm done with this game.
Yep. I don't blame you.
Oh, man.
Orphan was a piece of shit.
Oh, God, it's so annoying. And I can use a good controller, as I said to Tyler the other day.
Oh, God.
You know what else is good?
What? What's good, Tim?
Uh,
Say it. Say what's good.
The Weeb shit.
Oh God,
Yes.
Jesus.
Sorry, I wanted you to say it because I want you to cover the first item of the weeb shit. Because not that it doesn't mean anything, but it means way more
my
to you.
God. Means way more to me. What does that mean? We all really liked this.
Well, I think you guys like it more than I do.
Is
Not-
it
not to
because
say I
we're
don't like
married? Like, I don't understand. We
No,
like it.
I think you guys have a tendency to like the wholesome
Tony
fluff shows more than I
Kawa
do.
has been finally announced. It is getting a season 2 and another OVA episode. So
I
fuck
think
yeah.
Tony Kawa sucks.
This fucking
Very excited.
diabetes, the train won't stop. The literal balancing act between loving this show and being like, what the fuck? Is she a moon person or isn't she a moon person?
Are you not from the moon? Who sent you here?
I can't wait. This show's great. It's exciting to think that we're gonna finally get more of this after everyone was like, I mean, because to be fair, it did slow down at the end. But then getting that single one-off episode was like, ooh, this is still that good shit. Let's go.
Yeah, as long as they can keep it interesting. If they do the same shit they did in season 1 again, it might get a little boring. But I'm hoping they can do a what do I want to describe this as here? Like what Villainous did, where it's like season 2 is same cast of characters, same general feel, but like completely different plot line.
Oh man,
If
I
they can
know
do
it's not
something
on
like
the
that,
docket, but watching or getting Tyler and Leslie through season 2 of Villainous is just such an absolute treat. Oh god, I still love Villainous so much. But yeah, we're getting that. No dates confirmed for the OVA or season 2, right, Freeman?
I don't think so. They were just announcing them.
They're just announcing an anime project that was announced, confirmed on Saturday.
Yes,
Can I say how
anytime they're
lame
like.
it is?
The problem is, it used to be if they say new animation, everyone used to get really excited and they'd be like, "Oh, it's for this pachinko machine that's only in Japanese casinos and you can't record it." So now there's just an episode of your favorite franchise that you can only watch
In
by
Japan
gambling
on a
specifically in Japan. There's a whole ass episode of the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya that is not on the internet because it's illegal to be there.
Someone needs to just like break into an arcade and steal one of those pachinko machines and just
I swear
fucking
to
take
God.
it home. Or like
For
break
real.
in, set up an HD camera, and just play the shit. That's so
Or just
funny.
buy it, bring it home, rig their own marble supply, and just be like, "I will play until I see all 6 3-minute parts of this episode." Such a like. There's also an episode of Gurren Lagann that's on one of these things.
What?
I can't. Yes, shit
That's
is so
insane.
stupid. I hate this. Anyway, so whenever they
That's
say
why
like
there
new
was all the
anime
jokes
project,
on
everyone's
Reddit.
like, "Please don't be a pachinko machine."
That's
like,
why when this was
please.
announced on Reddit, everyone was like, "Yo, let's get ready for the 20 pachinko machine."
There are so many franchises that got that treatment, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking. Anyway, moving on to other shows getting heartbreaking treatments. Netflix announced
Netflix jail.
All right, Netflix jail is changing in nature. So they announced a whole slew of shows they acquired, including the confirmation that they are the rights holder to JoJo Part 6. Now, their release strategy
Oh no.
is interesting. So JoJo
Don't like
is
that
set
word.
it's set to air on Japanese TV on December 1st. And they're like, "We heard you guys loud and clear. It's going to be on Netflix on December 1st. We're like, "All right, cool. It starts airing." No. The first 12 episodes of JoJo will just be on Netflix December 1st.
What?
And I was like, "Well, when are the rest coming out?" No statement.
Amazing.
Fucking love it.
I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Is it like you asked David Production to like get the first core done early because you're like, JoJo has like a certain amount of normie appeal. Everyone fucking loves binging JoJo on Netflix. So we want everyone to be able to binge the new season on Netflix. Like this is their biggest push to be like, people don't like Netflix jail, but we want people to binge. So let's have people binge week 1, which is unusual, but it's happening. The internet's a little annoying because JoJo Friday is effectively dead. There's no weekly hype. It's all just going to happen all at once.
Yay.
And this is something the anime community has to come to terms with, because if Netflix going forward starts their new strategy, instead of letting Japan air their shit early and then Netflix will put it out later, if they go forward with being like the primary team on the production committee and says, no, you don't get to put it on Japanese TV until we have all of season 1 on Netflix. If they have that kind of bargaining power, they're going to do that, and we're going to start seeing like, it's no longer Netflix jail. It's more of just this show has a Netflix binge release, not weekly.
So it's interesting. Excuse me. Because I didn't put it on the anywhere on here. But Worlds for League of Legends happened this weekend. Big upset.
Oh, this ties into Netflix, yeah.
Yes, ties into Netflix. So China beat Korea. Big upset, actually. Kind of threw it away. Who picks fucking Ziggs 80 carry twice? It sucks.
I pick in every game I play, which is all 0 of them.
Yeah, well, the supposed winners picked anyway. So along with that, there is this massive push for Arcane, Netflix's new League of Legends animated series starring Jinx, Caitlyn, Jace, and Vi. And there's a ridiculous amount of hype and money being put around the show, with good reason. It became the #1 most viewed thing on Netflix, supplanting finally Squid Games. So that's a pretty big fucking deal if it's going to supplant Squid Games as the big thing. But the reason I bring it up all the way back to this is that their release strategy is that they are doing, I think it's only 9 episodes, and they are three episode chunks. They were designed that way, and the first 3 episodes came out on Saturday, and then this Saturday the next 3, and the Saturday after the final 3. So it's like a semi-binge thing, but you get a complete story arc, like the arc, and then the whole story chunks will fit together week to week.
Interesting. So they have the binge and the week-to-week model combined. You know, for all I shit on Netflix, I gotta commend them for at least experimenting with it with different shows. But I just wish there was some kind of consistency.
But not anime. Let's just do it all one or the way or the other way for
yeah. No, these. Let's say I was about to call it a Chinese cartoon, but given the studio working on it, I think it actually is.
Chinese cartoon.
Either way, Netflix announced a ton of other shows. I am not going to talk about any of them except they got Tiger and Bunny Season 2, which is an odd show my sister and I watched like back in 2012. I don't expect any of our listeners to have ever heard of this, but I'm excited that someone is getting rights to it because it didn't do too hot with Season 1. And Funimation is just like, we don't want that anymore. Moving on, still kind of in Netflix realm. So while Netflix is finally, releasing Komi-san with their awful subtitles, the fan sub community is kind of falling apart for this. So episode 3 should have been out 2 weeks ago. The one big subgroup that's working on it just lost their typesetter, and that's the person who has to do all the work with all these signs and shit. So they already put out a statement yesterday saying, like, don't expect the episode by the end of the week. So, fan sub community in shambles. You may have to actually just watch the awful Netflix release.
I mean, at least episode 1 got taken care of, which you said was the big on the chalkboard thing. So.
Yeah, no, there's no more like big chalkboard sequences, but there's still just a lot of signs and text throughout the show that I wish was presented to us. Either way, it is what it is. One of these days, Komi-san will be available with good subs. The question is when. Speaking of when, for any of you like me who were fans of Bleach back when it fell off a cliff, let's climb back up the cliff pretty soon. We're supposed to have another anime adaptation of the final arc of Bleach, and this got announced in 2019, and they've been radio silent since. And I don't remember what prompted it, but Shueisha, the company that runs Shonen Jump, every December they have their festival Jump Fiesta, which is right before Christmas, and they confirm that details regarding the Bleach anime will be revealed at Jump Fiesta this year. So I'm willing to bet money that either spring or summer 2022 this is airing, because they like to do their big reveals 3 to 6 months out generally. So I'm really hoping it happens this year. I just want to understand the end of Bleach without reading it.
Who thought that Bleach was an anime that would still be getting stuff?
Look, man.
This was
One Piece
15 years ago.
Naruto, the manga ended, but then Naruto's like, no, we need Boruto. And they're like, if the big 3 is this kind of staying power, let's revive the first of the big 3 to die. And now, the author of Bleach put out just a single new chapter, and it was one of the hypest things possible. Bleach fans are still there. They still want shit, even though Bleach itself got pretty garbage. But I am beyond hype for this. I wouldn't say I'd kill for another Bleach adaptation, but I am dying for another Bleach adaptation. And hopefully it's good, because we got to talk about what's going on with the Sword Art adaptation. So, real quick recap. For anyone who's watched Sword Art Online, the first arc ends very abruptly, and they skip a lot of floors in this journey to clear a 100-floor video game.
Oh, yeah.
The author went and he did this whole novel series where he details floor by floor what happened, and his goal is to adapt the first 25 floors into this book series, where I think he's released 8 books so far. The first book, aka the first floor, everything we saw in episodes 1, 2, 3, is being expanded on and released. It released in a movie in Japan a few weeks ago, and that same movie will be coming out in the US, I think, actually a month from the day of recording. And at the end of the movie, they tease there's going to be a second movie that's going to adapt book 5. And everyone's like, hold on. The point of this series is to go floor by floor and explain all the details that got skipped last time. So you're just going to skip details just like you did last time. To which the author goes on Twitter and says, well, no, the anime studio spoke to me about it, and they said, you've been really working on this plot line that's going to span books 2 through 4 and now books 5 through 9, but it's not finished yet because book 9 isn't out. And he's like, that's correct. They're like, okay, well, but what about book 5? He's like, no, book 5 is kind of standalone. Well, why don't we adapt that? And he didn't really put up much resistance. I think the idea is to fight for an anime series adapting the other 8 books.
Oh my God.
But it's just this defeats the purpose of the adaptation. If the 2 through 9 isn't ready yet, don't release book 5 yet. Do the Hero Academia approach. Do a movie in the middle of airing your show
or
bullshit. Something. There has to be a better way than just skipping to 5, because then I don't know. It angers me because it kills the point. Like I get it. SAO is A1 Pictures like golden cow. They can milk it for all eternity. Doesn't matter how they milk it, it'll print money. But I just wish there was some like consistency with this release. Anyway, but still on the topic of anime movies, this is where we'll get the whole squad engaged here. Last week in the U.S. box office, Dune was #1, and at #2, because there were just no other movies releasing that week, was the Hero Academia movie.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Number
That's
2 in
incredible.
U.S. box office.
That's weird.
I know, right?
And guess who
So,
saw
well-
that movie? Everyone but Aiden.
True. That's true.
Didn't miss anything.
Yeah, you should keep it that way.
I mean, we're gonna put this here instead of the watch played, but
Yeah, this is the end of the Weeb shits. This will be
is-
the seamless
this is the
transition into Weeb shit
This
to watch
is
play.
definitely the weakest My Hero movie,
Oh boy,
noticeably.
it had problems.
After you guys brought me along, you're like, "Yo, Tyler, you should come see this movie."
Oh, shut up! We had
Now
no
what?
Whoa,
idea.
do you think I actually recommend you guys good anime?
You guys, but you guys were like, "Oh, you haven't come to the other movies." I'm like, "Yeah, because I don't watch shonen garbage."
Well,
You're
hold
like,
on.
"Nah,
For
it's
context,
not."
What?
For context, Tim and I saw the second Hero movie together, and it was an exciting theatrical experience.
Yeah. Dude,
Now-
that fucking scene at the end of that movie is hype as fuck still.
Which was just as hype as the scene at the end of movie one. So
one,
going on
yes.
patterns, we're like, you know what? This movie's gonna be kind of whatever, and then the last 10 minutes, that one animator is just gonna like
Flex.
just flex on the whole industry for
Except
10
here
minutes.
we had 3D like we had the same animation copied twice and overlay.
And guess what? Tyler was right. Tyler was
fact that-
right.
The fact that in the first two movies when we saw them, I mean obviously we didn't see the first movie together, me and Val did, but there were those big hype movies where everyone's excited, and then this hype scene starts, and all three of us
We're just fucking
started
laughing 'cause it's so
laughing.
stupid.
How dumb
It was so dumb. All right, so listeners, in movie one, the hype scene is just like Deku and All Might are both using One for All. Amazing scene. You don't get the anime.
Incredible.
It actually adds on to the series experience. Movie two has this just crazy all-out fight sequence with two people using powers they shouldn't have, and the animation is just like melty,
Insane.
good, smooth. This fight scene had the most like abstract punching sequence on top of
You mean
using
JoJo abstract punch?
using like one-off abilities we've already seen that make no sense for the character to have here. And it was purely one of those things where it's like, we want something to like resonate with you because it looked cool the last time we showed it, but it doesn't necessarily look cool this time. We're just kind of like hoping you remember that last hype thing we did. Like calling the move the United States of Worldwide Smash, or what the fuck it was.
And
Where it's
what
like,
did I say
let
after
me
the
just...
movie? What did I say after the movie? How dare you stand where he stood?
Yes, for real. Even though the movie already had a reference to that scene with the way Bakugo finishes his fight, and it's like they managed to do it subtly as a nice callback, and it didn't feel ham-fisted.
Nah,
This just
remember
felt
that
fucking
big
stupid.
scene though?
They literally could have just called this Worldwide Smash, and it would have been just
would've been
fine.
great.
Like,
Also, minor gripe, but as we have all discussed and we all wanted to bring up on the podcast as soon as we got out of the theater, the sick fucking promo costumes from the fucking
Yep.
trailers and
and the
poster.
posters.
First
Fucked
5
up.
minutes of the movie, they look awesome. Literally no action happens, and then they never put on those costumes ever again. And you just throw up your hands and you're like, whose idea was this? This would have made all of the stuff at the end when it's the three of them going on their separate mission perfect. Could you imagine if all three of them had those matching outfits for that last mission?
It would have been so
It would have been
cool.
great. Oh my god.
Anyway, overall, in terms of shonen movies,
What did I give it?
I would still argue this is better than most like the Naruto movies, but in terms of the Hero Academia movies, this is by far the worst
Damn.
one they put out so far.
That's a shitty bar then, I guess.
Shonen movies
Look, there's,
are ass.
there's only been 2 Naruto movies like worth watching. Even then, they're questionable at best.
So for everyone's context, on my anime list, out of the 3 movies, I gave movie 1 a 7, movie 2 an 8, and then movie 3 a 6.
Oh fuck! I gotta load up my list.
I feel like
Hold on.
I feel like this should have been a 5. I don't know. The animation was still pretty good for the final fight. Even if the final fight, it doesn't make any sense how the villain's powers work at all. Like, come on. It's... You know what it was? It was literally, let's just take the guy from movie 2 again, and just, for no reason, like, he's just as powerful.
All right,
like-
so I gave movie 1 I gave a 10, 2 I gave an 8, and this one I gave a
Jesus.
6.
What?
Because I thought one was like the perfect movie for this franchise. It slotted in perfectly to the canon. It gave us a scene that we like realistically should have seen, a scene worth Deku and All Might fighting together, and we got to see that in the movie because like at that point in the timeline, like we were never going to get that scene ever again.
Already in the show,
So
we were never going to get
So I
it.
felt that the whole nature of the movie was perfectly fine. And I thought that like for doing a semi-canon movie, it did it amazingly well. 2, I was pissed about the ass pull of let's do this cool thing, and there's just no negative
Run it back,
consequences
yeah.
because we can't let it impact the main timeline. And that was a big detractor for me for like they tried to make it canon and then didn't. And this is just even worse. This is just there's nothing canon about this, but let's also just tank fucking season 4 or season 5 because we want this movie to do well.
And then as we also discussed, so we've talked about when we talked about this season ending, we also had talked about how the animation seemed to suffer during this season at a number of points, and we all hypothesized that was because, hey, they're shifting a lot of resources to the movie. Turns out, outside of that final fight, which looked overall pretty good, and a lot of the fight scenes looked pretty good, a lot of the between shots even in this movie struggled.
So it was a stylistic choice for the one director that did all those big animation sequences. His strategy is cut the details when you're doing a lot of motion on screen. And a lot of people ripping that apart. Like it's kind of like if any of you guys were around when Naruto Shippuden had the big pain fight, the guy who directed that fight just doesn't give a shit about in-betweens and prefers a lot of blurring of frames. And it ended up with just a lot of really bad still frame. The same kind of thing is happening with the movie where he focused more on making sure every single item in frame is moving, but you don't have to draw details like people's eyes during those scenes. And a lot of people really didn't like that. But regardless, the one thing I did want to chime in is the actual opening, like the first 5 minutes of the movie, super well done. Camera work is insane. Like when the movie opened, I was like, damn, if they actually do this for the whole movie, like it will have been justified in why season 5 was the way it was. But the smooth animation cuts out about 8 minutes into the movie. And then it goes back to just like normal quality. So, kind of sucked.
Yeah,
sucked.
disappointing. But, you know, like you said, it's still not as bad as plenty of other stuff.
Yeah, overall, like for a shonen anime movie, not terrible compared to the previous ones. Kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
best way to put this.
Things that weren't things that were good. I think I forgot to mention last podcast, but Val and I finally finished Fena, Crunchyroll's big exclusive for this past season. Fena Pirate Princess.
Yeah, gotta say the full title.
Yes. It was quite good most of the time.
Until it wasn't.
Until the ending just kind of abruptly comes out of nowhere, and you're like, man, I wish this had been an 18 or 24 episode show instead of 12. Because you build this whole cool cast of characters, and then you just dump the final arc, and shit happens that feels super unjustified, and it just kind of throws shit all over the place, and then you're like, wow, that feels like it was for almost nothing. And they kind of leave it open for a further season in the future if this is successful. And the show overall is good. The music's really good. The animation is quite good. The fight scenes are really good. I even said, I really appreciated that they're like, you know, it's not unreasonable to say a lot of anime like doesn't even show blood or anything like that. This shows people just fucking dying. Oh, I will say also, the My Hero movie. We forgot to mention this.
Oh man, there's so much blood in this movie.
Like the first 5 minutes, look at all these people being murdered. Look at this building noticeably crushing a bunch of people who then other people mutate and start just there was a person on fire in the first 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, they all died.
And all those people the heroes are fighting at the final location. They are all absolutely dead, no question. I know that said they're arrested.
Bakugo confirmed kills someone in this movie.
Bakugo absolutely kills people in this movie.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No, Aiden, normally you're right, but this movie is no. He's just he turns his hands into machine guns and he fucking shoots people.
He's just
crashed the
Batman,
building on
dude.
2 guys.
He's just Batman. Batman never kills anybody.
Well, he can't be Batman anymore because he straight up killed 2 people in this movie.
He did kill people. Like that whole thing
Well,
about
then.
him, like I'm gonna kill you. Like he actually did it this time.
Either you die the Batman, or you live long enough to see yourself become King Explosion Murder. One or
Yeah.
the other.
That sounds lit.
No, but anyway, back to Fena. I just wanted to bring that up. Fena is still worth a watch. It's still fun, especially if they want to do more. They do leave the door open for like unrelated adventures, because the main plot is closed, but there is definitely space here for more story, and it is a cool world. And I would definitely want to see a pirate princess. That's the thing. The title is almost a lie. The title should be Fena Princess who has mercenary friends. Like this, there's no
Princess among pirates.
You're not gonna get the scene of Fena and her friends rolling up on a ship, giving it a broadside, and jumping on board and taking it over. There is pirates in this show. It's clearly set in like an almost real Caribbean, at least at the start. But it just overall, it has cool world building, good animation. There's one scene that I would happily show you guys if you guys weren't going to watch the show. I would just show it to you because it's a fucking gorgeous shot. But overall, I can't. I think I ended up giving it a 7 or an 8. And honestly, the biggest letdown is just kind of the ending feels rushed.
After Val like hyped the shit out of that show.
I mean, to be fair, until we binged the ending in the last 2 episodes in a sitting, it was going great before that. But honestly, the ending, like, I don't want to give
be more after this or what.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They leave the door open. The main story is done, but there's enough of the main cast left. Not all of them died. There's enough of the main crew who kind of like can carry the torch a little bit. And I could see, again, the world building is cool. It's like a slightly magical world, but there is still like, big cannons and stuff like that, and ships and neat technology and all that. So it's definitely a cool setting. I would watch a sequel show. I'll say that much. It didn't do enough to make me not want to watch a sequel, but I definitely can't give it a full, wholehearted, it's great top to bottom, because the ending just lets it down a little. Speaking of Freeman.
Well, hold on one second. Sorry, I'm doing some quick research to see if anything was announced about Fena.
I don't believe it was.
Because this is Crunchyroll we're talking about. They announced two seasons of Shield Hero after that finished airing.
Yeah, and maybe they learned, wait a minute, this was a terrible idea, because we still
it's like we shouldn't announce until like the studio actually commits to working on it.
Maybe the fact that the Shield Hero is losing a lot of hype these days is fucking a part of the problem.
Well, all they have to do is release a trailer that's actually a trailer for season 2 and not just a fucking clip show of season 1 and pretend like they know what they're doing. Like, if they would just go radio silent until they had real shit to show off, we wouldn't get these disappointing trailers. Like, they are killing the hype for it.
It's so delayed at this point. It's ridiculous.
Anyway, speaking about large time gaps and involving hype, let's talk about Vivi real quick. So me and Val finished watching with him on Sunday.
Yay.
I generally enjoyed the entire thing. As someone who used to work with Alexa and loves watching movies about just AI takeovers, it was very interesting to see them do like a timeline spanning like multiple years with many time jumps in the middle. There was only one other show I've ever watched with this kind of formula. It was called I think it was like Nemesine Daughters of Rin, and like that show, or it was Rin Daughters of Nemesine. Either way, that show relied way too much on blood and full frontal nudity to get people to enjoy it. Whereas Vivi was like, it had music, it had fight scenes, it had some like political intrigue. Like this arc, great. Lame. We're gonna jump to a new one in 3.
But where's the titty though?
Tyler, look, if I can recommend other shows, but Vivi's not a
that's what I'm talking about. Then what's the point, man?
So what's the point? This is the show that Studio Wit said, we don't want to work on Attack on Titan. We want to work on other projects. And when they said other projects, like this was one of them. And it shows. They got to do their own kind of action sequences while staying on model. They did some unique work with like 3D CG where like it didn't seem super out of place. And they did a lot of stretch and squish on character models to make it feel more like an anime. And I do want to commend them for that. All in all, they did a good job. My only gripe with it is the ending feels kind of abrupt, but other than that, like the journey was more than worth it. Especially because like by the end, there's nothing you don't like you know why it plays out the way it does. It just feels very fast at the end.
Yep.
And I
Totally.
don't want to spoil why for anyone who's going to watch it because it kind of like is a big point of the final episode.
I think the flip side of that is that a lot of time travel shows kind of do that, where they like to, like any kind of even semi-repeated content, they just naturally rush through more.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to see any of that. No, just go.
So the only flip side of that is I don't think any of you guys ever watched Steins Gate, is the way they handle it in Steins Gate is the first time they come back to a scene they didn't really go into a lot of detail the first time. So their return has all the detail. And that's the only way you can make that work. The way Vivi structured their plot, I still think theirs was better to do it that way. Either way, good show overall.
And I would because I talked about Vivi a few weeks ago when this finished. I would say if you want to pick one of the two, they are very similar in that they both have good music, good animation, good story most of the way. I would say Vivi is probably the better watch. Fena is. Fena doesn't have time travel, though, so.
You have to watch Vivi on Funimation, so that's a negative for it.
Oh, also a big, -5 for that one. But yeah, also the random is watching Freeman react to the random flex shots.
Oh my god!
It's
random keyframes will suddenly be rendered in like 19K for some reason.
You guys don't understand.
Or just every single strain of hair is rendered.
They would cut to shots. It's like, oh, Vivi just standing there, and then they cut away to someone else, and when they cut back to Vivi, you see like 3 tones of colors and like the actual like lenses inside her eye and all the different strands of hair. Like, it's these every episode. There's like 2 or 3 random shots that are not even necessarily completely still. They're mostly still, but they're just these super detailed shots, and it's like, what the fuck was the point of this? It was clearly just to say, we can do this. Look at us. We have the power.
Look at our wit.
Of the power.
Now they can go back to doing a Vinland Saga.
Maybe we'll get it in Vinland Saga. Let's just see Thorfinn just randomly really detailed one time.
They show the dirt on his face. I swear to God, if they give him the Vivi treatment, I'll be very happy. All right. Should I move on to the next one?
Is it wrong to watch an idol anime that's not an idol anime for you?
Okay, so all right. So Vivi's not an idol anime. Everyone who fucking called one, like, I'm gonna call it Giga. He called it one. It's not a fucking idol anime. There just happens to be a character who sings songs in it. This is if someone says idol anime, you think Love Live. You think like all these other shitty like 12 girls in high school trying to be singer stars. That's not what this show is about. Even though there's a character who's trying to be an idol. Regardless, moving on to two anime that I've been watching for the greater part of a year because my other watch group is just so dysfunctional at the moment. But we finally finished the 3rd season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? And I hated this season. This season made me not want to recommend the show to people. Because, like, with season 1 of Is It Wrong to Pick Girls in a Dungeon, it's a dumb show, but it has 3 story arcs it goes through, and each one culminates in a large, really well-drawn fight, which is why I tell people to watch this show. Season 2, it's much shorter and it only covers 2 arcs, but the same kind of thing happens. Season 3 rolls around. They attempt to do a single story arc dragged out into 12 episodes, and it just didn't need to be that long. There was this whole arc where it's like, we got to get the girl back to the cave. We can't have her in the town, and they do it, and then she immediately runs back into town because she wanted to say goodbye. Completely invalidating the point of the first 3 episodes of the mission, because now they have to redo the same mission over again. Like, there's so much shit that didn't need to be there, and I'm wondering if it was in the books or whether they just padded for the show. But regardless, it pains me to shit on the show because the hype fight, since they only do 1 this season, they went above and beyond. The 12th episode of this show was fucking insane, but it's strapped onto the tail end of a turd of a season 3 that I can't wholeheartedly recommend it to anyone. Yeah. So I'm stuck on this show. Because, God, that fight was hype, but holy shit, that arc was awful. Anyway.
That's
damn.
Sorry for ranting there.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That just sucks.
It's unfortunate. And when I looked at it, I'm like, who the hell's still handling this? Is this A1 Pictures? I'm like, no. It's the one that did Food Wars. I'm trying to blank on their name here. Just the ball droppers themselves. Anyway. Moving on. Other show it took me over a year to finish was Higurashi Go. I gave a long form description when this first came out, but basically it was this horror anime that came in the early 2000s. Had kind of rough animation, but had a really cool story concept of this 2-week period in this town plays out where people keep dying, and then it goes back to the beginning in a different storyline will take place. And then in the second season, you find out one of the characters is cognizant of the fact that these are actual time loops, and she's been trying to break out, and she keeps trying to alter the story to see like what will work. And the whole gimmick for the new continuation they're doing after like 15 years later is, okay, well, what if she actually finds a solution to break out, but then someone else is upset with the outcome and traps everyone else in a loop where they themselves will opt to just be psychotic the whole time. And it was a really weird arc to go with, but I personally love it. Most fans of the original fucking hated it, but all I can say is, despite the fact they advertise this as like the remake that anyone can jump in on, that's blatantly false. You cannot watch the show without having seen the original, or you will not understand what's going on. And I really wish they would have like marketed it correctly, because a lot of people watch this didn't get any of it, and it's like, yeah, well, you jumped in on season 5 of a show essentially. But all in all, I liked it. There is a continuation that there's supposed to be a 6-month gap between them, but it took me over a year to watch this anime, so the continuation's already out. So I'll probably start watching that pretty soon. Once my watch group figures out what the hell they're doing. But yeah, that's my anime.
Cool.
That's your anime.
Aiden.
Time
Oh,
The frames.
so
about Warframe.
I made a mistake.
What was your mistake?
I was offered a forbidden fruit. And knowing it was wrong, I accepted it.
Oh no.
And I have been playing Warframe for like the last week and a half.
Well, hold on. So who got you to play it?
It was a few people, kind of simultaneously. Although it was one primarily.
Multiple
I have a
snakes in
friend,
the garden?
Kyle. Yes, there were multiple snakes, but one was a very large snake. His name is Kyle, also known as Lyle, because he's a
Fucking
liar.
lies. A fucking liar. Piece of shit.
He says we should play. It'll be fun. That was a lie,
Guess
Lied
what?
as naturally as
but
agreed.
I can't stop playing the fucking game.
Hey, Aiden.
All right. So
Guess what?
I
During the podcast, I got my email that my account has been reinstated, so now I can play Warframe.
And now I
let's
sit
go.
here as a spreader of this
I
poison.
can return to the game I haven't played in 6 years and see how it's going.
Return of the King.
I
should
will
look back for
say-
buttons.
Well, we'll do that too.
Aiden
I
seems
will,
to have time for every game on the fucking planet, Tyler, so like...
Eventually, he'll get around to all the
did, if
games.
only. I wish I had that kind of time. I unfortunately do not, actually. I will say this. I have actually been enjoying myself. Like, from when I last played this game, it might as well be a different game now. We're like 3 deep into a trilogy, I feel like.
Oh, no.
There has just been, and I mean, granted, I have only been playing it for like a week and a half. I don't know when all of this content was released or like how it is for people that have kept up with the game. This is just my perception of it. Like, there is literally games inside of Warframe now, like entire just mission types that I would take as a full game. Recently I got into like the Railjack stuff, and it is essentially Star Wars Battlefront galactic like space missions, except a mission in Warframe. And like, you have your ship, you can attack enemy ships, you can leave your ship and board enemy ships or enemy space stations and kill everybody, and it's a great time. However, they do a very good job of compelling you to spend money, even though it is actually a free game.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a free game like an actual free game, and not a free game like Destiny 2 is a free game. Different things. This, I actually like. You can farm stuff, and like the general pace at which you earn things in the game hasn't really changed. And I think it's okay because I've gotten to a point where I can like farm and make a Warframe like once every few days. And I'm having a really good time. I feel like an addict, but right now I haven't had to suffer the repercussions of this yet. Yet. But if you haven't touched Warframe in a while, it might actually be worth going back to because like they have added a metric fuck ton of shit to the game since I last played, which granted was like 8 years ago, 6 years ago. It's been a long time.
I look forward to seeing what the last 6 years has brought to Warframe.
Hell yeah.
Warfarm.
Yes, it is Warfarm.
Warframe.
You farm the things.
Farm.
But that's it. That is honestly the only thing that I've been sinking my time into lately, which, aside from like a few games here and there, like Back from Blood or whatnot. So, safe to say it's pretty much wholly consumed my free time. And I guess that's its job. But I digress.
Nice.
Just Cause.
Just cause. Speaking of eating my free time. So I'm on vacation this week with nothing to do, and I'm like, let me play through some games. And thankfully, Tim showed me a video last week that caught my interest. Because I'm playing through Just Cause 3 now. I'm enjoying this immensely. It took me a little while this afternoon to figure out like what is it about this game that's clicked with me, because usually I'm not the biggest open world game player. But I brought this up constantly on the podcast, how much I'm itching to play Infamous on PS3 but remastered. And a lot about the whole just take over territories, freedom of motion, grappling everywhere, flying around. A lot of this is scratching the same itches, even though it's a very different game. But all in all, I'm having a fun time with Just Cause 3, and I'm probably going to play it after the podcast, or when we end recording tonight. That's all I really wanted to say there. Like nothing too in depth to go, other than I'm just having a fun time with it.
Hell
Good.
yeah, brother.
It's a fun game. And then 4 happened.
Like $4 on Steam the other week, so feels really good getting that value.
Welcome to the circus of value.
I intentionally didn't say it. I was like, maybe someone will say it, maybe not, but I'm not going to bring up the meme for
I'll
once.
say it.
Damn, there's Tyler bringing it in.
Yep. This is me, your boy.
Yeah, boy.
Are you
watch
also the one who watched
movies.
this movie?
Yeah, I watched last night in Soho. It's the newest movie by Edgar Wright.
Wow.
It's pretty good. If you like Black Swan and Edgar Wright, this is the movie for you.
Wow.
Way to sell it.
That's very specific.
That's it.
Well, hold on
mean,
one second.
That's like it's the movie in a nutshell, essentially. What?
Like,
What are you
how
looking
was the like tonally? How was this movie?
Tonally, how was it?
Like, was it an exciting movie? Was this a?
No, it was like
Because I know absolutely nothing about this.
It's a thriller. The synopsis is this girl. The movie's about a girl. She lives in the countryside of London or countryside of England, and she moves to London for school, and she's fucking crazy.
Okay.
Hilarity ensues.
Neat.
Yeah, like I said, if you've seen Black Swan, it's kind of like a similar thing where like, she goes to a place and like she doesn't fit in, and she kind of like feels like she needs to take on another persona, kind of to like make sure she gets through and whatever. Her classmates are kind of dicks.
Ah, Persona, you say?
Oh my god, I was hoping that it wouldn't trigger something, but it did.
Sorry, I was gonna. It's so annoying to have to toggle. Oh my god, sound special won't toggle off so I can play Persona music. Fuck it, I'm not even gonna do
all
it.
the effort of doing the soundboard earlier.
I hate this. I hate this. Do I actually no? Oh my god, when I redid the soundboard, I didn't put the Persona 5 song in here, so I couldn't have done it anyway.
Damn.
That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty good. I recommend it. Just Tyler certified banger. I'd probably watch it again. I gave it a 4 stars, I think, on Letterboxd.
I need to make an account for that.
Yeah, join us, Friedman. Speaking of
Join
spreading the
us.
disease,
See how few movies I've actually watched.
Yeah. Let's see here. I finished reading the third Mercy Thompson book. Not good, but whatever. Probably gonna keep reading them because I eat them like Cheetos. They're just like easy reads. And then Val and I finished Kaguya season 2 yesterday.
Very nice. What'd you think of the Ishigami arc?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Uh, it was very serious. I was not expecting it to be that serious.
I know, right?
That being said, I still liked it. The only thing I didn't like about this season overall was how it ended. I thought it was very out of nowhere, but it's like, I don't know, for a story like this, like I expected the first season to kind of end how the second season did, where it's like kind of in the like not necessarily in the middle of something, but just like drops off.
Yeah, he doesn't have like a big conclusive ending. It's more just we finished the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, we finished it and that's it. So like I don't know. I still gave it an 8. Like overall, like it was a very good season. It made me laugh, so it was good.
So I'll chime in real quick because Val and I discuss this a lot because we watch a lot of these just like slice of life comedies where a lot of times they feel they need to have a conclusive ending for a show where there's no ongoing plot. So what they do is in episode 11, something happens and a character gets separated from the rest of the group. And then episode 12 is how do we get that character and bring them back in and establish the status quo from episode 10. And it, like I meme about this, but every fucking show follows this formula and it's really annoying when they do. So I was very happy that Kaguya didn't try that. Like you could argue that the fireworks episode, I think it was like 11 of season 1, they almost did that where the whole, oh no, Kaguya is not with us. Let's go get her and bring her back to the group. Like it's that kind of thing, but they like hype it up as a 2-episode arc generally. And I'm happy Kaguya just didn't do that.
Well, I think it was a little bit more involved than that. Like in the first season, it's like you knew she was coming back. It's not like it was a for good thing. It
Yeah.
was just like she's stuck at the house, she can't leave, right? Like which like sucks. It's like it's all like they made it a way to keep it funny and cute at the same time. It's not like quintuplets, right? Where it's like what's her face like when Miku kind of like ended up fucking off, right,
Oh
at the
yeah.
ski resort. And it's like, yo, is this Ichika thing like gonna be irredeemable? Should be, but like it follows the same kind of pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get what you're saying. Like, a lot of these follow the same sort of ending pattern where it's a bunch of more or less nothing, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna throw some drama in there to spice it up. It's
Yep.
like, man, whatever. But I like how they did it in Kaguya season 2 with Ishigami, only because it's like they've been kind of building it up for a while.
He
And
had
his
like a
character.
four episodes of this shit being like in the background before it mattered.
Yeah, so like I'm more than fine with the way how that ended, and I'm okay with that. But like I said, not a big fan of how it just kind of ended. But like I didn't really expect much, if that makes sense. So I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it completely.
Gotcha. But now, Tyler, you can watch the very cultured OVA, which is renowned for its jiggle physics.
Oh Lord.
Yes. But anyway, real quick, just because you mentioned quintuplets, there was something I left out of the Weeb shit. The quintuplets
Yeah.
movie got confirmed for summer next year, and of course they announced with a giant poster of all the quintuplets in bikinis. Just needed to remind everyone about that. So that's still
needed to
coming.
remind everybody.
Hell
Anyway,
yeah.
that's it for the Weeb shit. And then I guess for the last thing on here, so this was a funny story. So 2 weeks ago, we're over at Tim's house, and Tim, I don't remember why you were cleaning out one of the rooms in your house, but you were, and you found some stuff you didn't want, including a PSP 1000.
Yes, my brother's old PSP with 3 discs that we had on hand.
One of which was pretty good. I think it was, I don't know if it was Metal Gear Peace Walker. It was the other Metal Gear game that's just like a bunch of the mini games on it. But point is,
it was Peace Walker, and then it
was
was
Peace Walker?
NHL. like fucking '07 or something.
Yeah.
And then it was. Do you remember what the movie was?
Oh, that's right. It was a movie. Fuck, what was it?
Oh,
Tyler?
what was that movie?
It was Click. Adam
Oh.
Sandler's
Oh,
Click.
Adam
That's
Sandler's
right,
Click
it was
on
Click.
disc for PSP. Relic of another era.
Three things my brother left behind with that that my brother had with that PSP before he gave up on it.
Anyway, point is, I bring it home, I plug it into charge, it's not registering the battery. I pop up in the battery's a little bloated. I'm like, all right, this is old, just needs a new one. In the meantime, let me double check what the storage size on the Pro 2 Duo card I had for my current PSP 3000. And I go and I dig that up, and I see the back panel's completely like pushed off of it, and the battery is just expanded. I'm like,
Ugh.
damn, all right, I'm glad I discovered this. I prevented an explosion in my living room. The point is, I got 2 replacement batteries in the mail today, so I'm ready to start hacking that PSP
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I'm glad it is getting new life after sitting in dust for so long at my parents' house.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, I did buy a handheld dedicated for emulation. It doesn't handle PSP games amazingly. Like, you have to soft lock at like 29 frames, otherwise it tries to stutter a lot. And I realize there's a couple PSP games that I still want to play, mostly the Fate Extra franchise. So if I can just get those running on the actual PSP, I'll be happy.
Hell yeah.
All comes back to Fate. Anyway, that was all I had for that.
Wow, are we done already?
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about this week. For the first time in forever, it was a short week. That's
I mean,
right.
if we need to talk about airing shows, I mean, I'm watching Sakugan, and then Val and Tyler also watched Paladin yesterday. You know, they watched all of it, and then Tyler, did you know Val made me watch all of Paladin after you left yesterday?
Oh my God, did she double watch another fucking anime she's recommending to people?
She's double watching another show right now.
One of these days she's going to learn that it's not a good strategy.
I told her to stop, but she,
She's like, Tyler, that would mean I have to watch real movies instead of more of the same anime that I enjoy.
we talked about that yesterday. I was like, okay, well, what are we gonna watch next? She's like, I think you'll like this Paladin show. I'm like, okay, but you said you're gonna watch it though. And she's like, or you're watching it with Tim or whoever. And she's like, yeah.
Or
I'm like, so
whoever,
I'm not.
What?
That's what I'm. No, I said that. Whatever. Because I thought she said with like you also too, Freeman. I don't know. Unless it was just you, Tim.
Yeah.
Was it just you that she was watching it with?
It's just me.
Okay, yeah, no, so I wasn't sure if there was more people involved in this to watch. So she's like, no, it's fine. Like I'll just rewatch with you. I'm like, why can't we just watch anything new? Like, what the fuck is this?
No.
No,
Stop.
just never. I'm like, because I'm not. I was like, why can't we just pick something that we like can both have that's new? And she's like, eh.
You guys should watch Bakuman. Maybe
I don't
you
want
won't
to watch
like
any more anime.
Understandable.
It wasn't supposed to be an anime watch day. It was supposed to be Leslie doesn't watch movies with Tyler, so I need someone to watch movies with me.
Well, then all right. So then you just got to be firm. You got to show up with a movie already in mind and be like, "Nah, we're watching this today."
Yeah, I could do that.
Because worst
man,
case,
I really like this Paladin show. That was pretty fucking dope.
You can watch one episode of Paladin and still watch a whole movie.
Yeah, I guess.
depending on the movie, yeah.
Paladin is pretty good though.
Oh, I like it so far.
Got to slot this in. Maybe I'll just drop Tapped OP Destiny if it's just not.
Man, that's one I want to binge on my own. Ugh.
So anyway, I'll throw it on here. I saw episode 1. Animation's pretty cool. Plot is kind of, I don't know. It described it on Sunday to the guys like it feels very much like this is set up to be a gacha game. Like this is just how do we get you to like these characters and like this aesthetic, but don't go too deep in the world because the world's going to get expanded in the game. And that's sort of what it felt like from episode 1. That said, I don't want to judge it on episode 1 only. I am going to give it the 3-episode rule before I see what's going on. Animation. Go ahead.
No, keep going. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah, I was saying animation-wise, it's stellar, but like I've seen enough shows where animation's great, but the plot is just not there.
So I do think we can end the podcast, but there is one thing I want to bring up because we don't know how long it's going to take at this rate for us to finish it. I will say, 2 Thursdays ago, you, me, Tyler, and everybody in our group watched the first 2 episodes of Komi-san together. Because
Did we not talk about this during the last podcast?
I don't think we talked about it because it was a new show, and it was 2 Thursdays ago that we watched it, right? Or was it 3?
I'm trying to think. Episode 2 was already out, and this is the week. Episode 5 will be out this Thursday. So I'm pretty sure we had talked about it in the last episode. Actually, let me double.
I'm opening
On
the
a
show
watch,
notes
we don't
to
have
check.
timestamped.
It is
Either
no,
way.
no, no. It is. Oh wait, it is in the watched.
Yeah, all right. We definitely talked
Okay.
about it last
Never
week.
mind. We talked about it already.
Yeah.
So let's just end the podcast. Fuck it. Let's just go home.
Let's get out of here. Let's go
Let's
play
just go
Just
play-
Cause 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
let's
then,
get the fuck out of here.
and then let's
I don't
play
wanna be in
either
here
Back
with
4
these
Blood
fucking
or
losers
Warframe.
anymore.
I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Some
podcast
video game.
canceled.
Podcast's over.
Forever.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the pre-American Thanksgiving show.
Oh hell yeah!
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Wookie. But yeah, we'll be back then. Nothing's happening in the meantime, so I don't know if we'll have much new, but who cares? Whatever. Middle of an anime season, it's chugging along. Oh shit, when does Witcher come back?
Oh, isn't it in December?
That's December. Okay, never mind. All right, bye everybody. Thanks for listening. I'm Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
AIDS, man.
See you guys next time. Thanks for listening.